This is a basic guide on what skills to upgrade for Spore Hunter with Dualies. Pretty basic, but max your core skill. Note: the damage bonus from the core skill doesn't show up in attributes, but it is there. Max this because it's cheap. So max this increases the drop rate of spores. This is one of the key skills for Spore Hunter. Enables Spore Shot. Spore shots have an AoE effect, spreading the damage to any zombies close to the point of impact. For Dualies, this is an important skill just because later on in the skill tree you'll be able to add 12% firing rate to agility spores. Also increases movement speed significantly. Only lasts for 5 seconds until later on. Useful for survivability and still cheap. While not technically essential, it will reduce the damage you take from enemies hit by Spore Shot. Still cheap, so easy to max. Spore State allows you to shoot spore bullets when in effect. The distribution of spores you generate with your Dualies will be pretty spread out. This skill ensures you keep firing spore shots between spore pickups, since it increases the duration of Spore State. Increase move speed while using agility spores helps you to maneuver around to collect other agility and hyperactivity spores for a sustained buff. Not an essential skill, but since we're investing in agility spores anyway, might as well upgrade this to enhance the move speed. Adds 20% over base. Helpful in keeping you alive by increasing the healing effect of your spores. Not especially necessary, but it's still pretty cheap. Increases the frequency of spore shots from 20 to 10. Definitely max it. Only reason to level this is if you want it for your spore index. If so, level it to 1. Otherwise, don't touch this. It's actually harmful to the cert. The higher this is leveled, the less likely you are to get recovery spores sent to your spore storage. Very useful. Chance to get extra spores. You shouldn't level this either. Literally useless. Absolutely essential. This is a must, as hyperactivity spores are the primary source of power for Spore Hunter. Adds 35% damage bonus. Later on there's a skill to add 4 attack power too. Not really useful. Parasitic recovery only comes into effect when not in combat. So unless you're hiding in a cupboard in a PvP zone trying to heal, you won't get much use out of this. Handy since it's like having an adrenaline pen, only you don't need to stop and stay still to activate it. The skills are expensive at this point, so unless you're rich in new dollars, skip it, or just upgrade it to 1. Note: there is a bug where even when recovery spore is in cooldown you can still heal to full while bleeding. Pretty crucial for maximizing the buff time for hyperactivity spore. Max it. Decreases cooldown for the recovery spore skill we just passed. Not worth wasting new dollars on unless you're rich. Adds special bullet power, which increases the damage of spore bullets and paralysis bullets, etc. The damage increase from this isn't significant, but it definitely helps. Accelerates the growth of parasitic sprout, meaning it'll take less shots to fully grow on an enemy. Useful to get straight into maximum damage and maximum spore generation. Not required, but helps you get a running start. When a team member picks up one of the spores you created, you get a certain percentage of recovery from that spore. That's called symbiosis recovery. The default percentage is 25%. This skill, if you choose to upgrade it, will increase your healing while in teams, but not if you pick up spores yourself like in Death Eye. A good skill for the Dualies. Won't add anything for a Howie user. Without this skill, agility spores wouldn't be worth investing in. Adds 12% firing rate to agility spores. This is one of the most vital skills. Have to max it. It's one of the skills that makes Spore Hunter extremely powerful. Since we're investing in agility spores, this skill is very good because when a team member picks up one of your agility spores, you will also get the buff and it'll last for longer than if you had picked it up yourself. With this skill, Spore Hunter is no longer crippled in team environments. Before they release these last two skills, Spore Hunter could pretty much never get the buffs themselves. Teammates would pick them up instead. If this is your first time being Revenant, there are extra skills you need to invest in under combat. This skill here to increase the recovery effect of your stored spores, and this skill to increase damage to infected. Thanks for watching.